Hey guys, welcome back to the business of art. Today I want to go over some tips to making good YouTube videos, and these are just very simple. I think a lot of times people think that it's pretty complicated and you may need some like special equipment or lighting or a good camera or anything like that. I haven't used like any of those. So I'm going to just go over some basic tips that would be applicable to pretty much anyone who is thinking about making a YouTube channel, or even just any videos. It doesn't even have to be for a YouTube channel. Maybe you want to make them for Instagram or your Facebook or anything like that. So first is that you don't need any fancy setup. I have used my cell phone for the entirety of my YouTube career, which works for me because I'm so on the go, and my computer is pretty old, so it works way better for me to edit things on my phone, and it's just simple. I have a tripod that I got from Best Buy years ago for $30, and you can get one off of Amazon for probably about the same. It came with a cell phone attachment. You have to watch that. You might have to get a separate cell phone attachment, but they're really cheap and it's a good investment. Like literally, I've had this same tripod for a couple years. It's $30, you know. And then I recommend that you use natural light if possible. So when I started out, as much as possible, I would have my garage door open and I used the natural light. Understandably, that's not always possible. So if you don't have natural light, then just get as much light as you can and do white light instead of warm light, because you don't want to change the colors of your painting, and warm light can sometimes make it a lot more yellow and change up the colors. So get really bright lights as much as possible. But you just get a bunch of lamps, and you can also even use the flash on your phone usually for a light as well. I have done that. It works. Okay. And then the other thing on that too, like let's say you generally only film at night, maybe that's the only time you have. If you can film on the weekend with natural light, just maybe batch record so you can get a lot more done and you can use the natural light. So just another idea. Okay, so next is to film in landscape mode, not in portrait mode. This is pretty important. I see a lot of people that do it in portrait mode. It changes the way that people are able to view your video on YouTube, and it doesn't maximize the space and the layout that you have on there. So it can be done, and people do it all the time, and it's not like your video won't work or something like that, but it just isn't optimum. So the optimum is to film it in landscape mode. It's actually 16:9 is the exact measurement there. And you can usually find that setting on your phone. But either way, just film in landscape. Okay. And next is to declutter your background as much as possible. Or even better, if you're filming yourself doing art or something, just have the art in the frame. Keep the background out as much as possible. I'm definitely not perfect about this. Sometimes I have kind of a mess back here. But when I'm filming my art, generally that's all you're going to see. You're not going to see my messy garage or anything else really. So declutter your background. Get as clean of a background as you can. Next is to be ready with your supplies and what you're going to do. Don't have a lot of dead space. Don't have a lot of ums. Don't have parts where you're kind of sitting there thinking and like, should I do this? You know, and if you absolutely have that, because sometimes I do, you're going to have to edit it out. You don't want to leave it in there. You don't want to have a 30-minute video that should be an 8-minute video. People will lose interest and you'll get a much lower like duration of viewing, which is bad for your statistics on YouTube. You want to keep their attention from start to finish as much as possible. So taking out any dead air and whatnot will help with that. And the best thing to do in the first place is to just not have any, to just be prepared. A trick that I'm going to tell you guys about that I do is instead of editing out certain things, I pause it instead. And so I don't edit it. So in my videos, I do my painting and then I say, good, we're gonna come back in a little while after we see what develops. And then I pause it there. So I don't stop the video, I just pause it. And then I come back 10, 15, 20 minutes later, whatever it is, unpause it, and I say, wow, look how it looks now. It looks awesome. Good, I'm gonna take you guys in for a close-up. And then I pause it again. I take my camera down, I get ready for where I wanna start the close-up, and I unpause it. Do my close-up, I pause it again, I replace my camera where it was, and unpause it, finish the video, and then stop it. So that's how I generally do no editing on my videos. It's a little trick that I do, could be helpful for you, is pause instead of having to edit. That being said, get some simple editing programs for your phone. I have an Android. I use Viva Video and Action Director, and those both have free versions. I do have the paid versions, but they both have free versions, and even the paid versions aren't expensive. Action Director is like $2.99 a month. Viva Video, I paid a one-time fee of $5.99 a couple years ago. So totally worth it. Actually, it was like 3 or 4 years ago. Totally worth it. I also occasionally use InShot. I'm going to just tell you about these apps really quick, because I'll tell you why I use several different ones, but you can obviously find what you need. I have not yet found an app that does every single thing that I need. Action Director does almost every single thing. You can add music, you can crop it, you can split it, you can do different things like that, but what you can't do is mute one specific clip. Viva Video, you can mute specific clips, but you can't crop your video and you can't change certain things like coloring or whatever. So I generally use Viva Video for most, but sometimes, or Action Director actually, sorry, for most, but sometimes Viva Video if I need to speed something up. And that's another factor too that can improve your videos, is if you have a part that's a long part, definitely edit it and speed it up, and you can do that really quickly on your phone. It takes me like usually 2 minutes, if even that, to edit a video if I have to edit it at all. So get a simple editing program. There's lots. You can actually share the one that you use down in the comments along with what kind of phone you have, like an iPhone or Android, and that way people can check out different editing programs. There's no one that's specifically good. You can of course edit on your computer as well. That gets into a whole different section of editing programs. But learn to use one and utilize it. So those are my tips for making good YouTube videos. Lastly, I just want to mention, don't expect your first videos to be amazing, and don't wait until you feel like you have everything perfect. If you need to, you can always delete the old videos, but just start getting your videos going. Don't wait, and don't expect them to be amazing. Be totally fine if they're total crap. Like, just get going, and you will improve and get better as time goes on. Everything that I have has improved. Even my phone, my lighting, my setup, my phone, everything has improved like 10 times from when I started. But my first videos are still awesome. I mean, they're like awesomely horrible, but they're awesome. And I look back at them and I see how far I've come, and it's actually pretty cool. And yeah, so don't even worry about it. Just get started. Let me know if you have any questions or need any help, and I'll see you guys next time.